Shonik. That ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. Into right field. It is up and gone. And no doubter for Tanner Donati. A go-ahead grand slam. And the Flamingos take the lead. Are you kidding me?
You are listening to Florence Flamingo Baseball live on Flamingo Radio, your home of the pink and white. Let's send it down to your voice of the Mingos, Bryan Miller. We are live from historic Luther Williams Field in Middle Georgia in Macon as the Mingos take on the rival Bacon for the first time this season. Bryan Miller with you from the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network. Thank you so much for joining us for some Friday night baseball. It is the Mingos and the Bacon doing battle for the first time this season. Florence coming into today's game with a record of 1-3. They got a big-time win last night, taking down the previously undefeated Morehead City Marlins. They fell to 4-1 on the season after a 1-0 victory for Florence. It was an outstanding pitching performance for the Mingos in that game. Jackson Grind, Blake Holshauser, and Bradley Link, the three pitchers that shut out the Morehead City Marlins last night, looking to get their second consecutive win here today against the rival Bacon. Jake Richardson will be leading things off. He'll be facing Ryland Bosenhard, the righty coming from South Alabama, making his second start of the CPL season. He dealt his first time out Saturday night against Lexington County. More on that in a second as the first pitch comes in. He winds and fires, and the first pitch is fouled back at 7:02 Eastern Time. The Flamingos lineup today brought to you by Seminar Brewing. It'll be Jake Richardson leading things off. He's playing second today for the first time this season, followed by Sam Driscoll and Savoy Edwards. 0-1 coming from the righty. He winds and fires and delivers, and he misses a little inside for ball number 1. 4-5-6 for the Mingos today. Zeke Minnick, Will Geary, and Jack McCarthy. 7-8-9, Carlos Diaz, Charlie Wooten, and Parker McGee. Here's the 1-1. That one pops straight up towards the right side of the infield in foul territory, and the catch will be made by the first baseman, Steven Jordan, for out number 1, right in front of the Macon dugouts. Mentioned the last start for Ryland Bosenhard. He threw 4 innings against Lexington County on Saturday night of shutout ball. Gave up just 3 hits, had 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts against the Blowfish, and ended up being a big win for Macon. First pitch is outside to the lefty Sam Driscoll. It'll be a 1-0 start to his at-bat. Get you the Macon defensive lineup after this pitch, as Bosenhard is set from the windup, towing the first base side of the rubber. Here's the 1-0. He just misses the zone. That one a little downstairs. The count go to 2 balls and no strikes. Sammy Lease behind the plate for Macon today. Jackson Morse at third. Daniel Spiker at short, Charles Cassingham at second, and Steven Jordan at first. As the 2-0 misses the zone, it'll be 3 balls and no strikes to Sam Driscoll, who is back in the lineup after not playing in yesterday's game. Here's the 3-0. And that misses upstairs. A 4-pitch walk to Driscoll. He'll make his way towards first. The outfield today for the Macon Bacon, Nicholas Richardson in left, Dawson Mock in center, and Camden Williamson in right field. Savoy Edwards will step in for the Mingos. Edwards playing in center field today. The first time he has played at center this season. One of the speedier options on this Flamingo batting order. Will try to get on in his first time up. First pitch is fired in, swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike to Edwards. Bosenhard coming from South Alabama. Made 12 appearances and 10 starts as there's a pickoff attempt at first, and Driscoll is able to get back in time. The righty with 47 innings pitched the last college year, an ERA of 6.51, a record of 2-3 with the Jaguars. Driscoll goes from first. The pitch called a strike. The throw down is not going to be in time despite the tag attempt from Spiker. It'll be a runner in scoring position for Florence. One ball and one strike to Savoy Edwards, who has been a consistently good hitter for this Mingo squad, batting .400 on the year. 2 for 5 on the season with 3 walks. Here's the pitch. That one misses low. Stand corrected. The count is actually at 1-2. My apologies there. So Edwards will look to protect with 1 out in the inning. A runner on second here in the top of the first. Bosenhard deals from the stretch. That one hit towards the right side of the infield. That will get through into shallow right. Driscoll will be held up at third. Probably a wise decision from the third base coach, Drew Holcomb. It was a nice throw from the right fielder, Williamson. Cut off by the first baseman, Jordan. It is the first hit for Florence today, and they have runners on the corners. And Zeke Minnick, the left fielder, will step in. Has a great opportunity to record his first RBI of the season. Has had a solid campaign with Florence so far. Batting .273. Is 3 for 11 on the season so far. First pitch is swung on and missed. Bosenhard up early in the count. Some early trouble for the righty here in the top of the first inning. Florence looking to get on the board in the first frame. Edwards dancing at first. Here's the 0-1. It misses outside for a ball. The arsenal for the righty Bosenhard, around 92 to 95 on his fastball. He topped out at 94 in his last start. Throw back to first, not in time. Off-speed wise, Bosenhard with a slider and a changeup that he will mix in. He could certainly fired it in nicely in the zone, as we saw in his last start. Another pickoff attempt at first. That one a close call, but Edwards again able to get back in time. You could understand why Macon is making it a point of emphasis to check in on Savoy Edwards. He is 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this season. He's played in just a couple games for the Mingos so far. As the pitch comes in, it misses high and in. 2 balls and 1 strike to Minnick. 2-1 coming. Bosenhard set from the stretch. Looks down a couple times. Now focuses home. Edwards goes from first. A pitch swung on and missed. Throw down to second. It is not going to be in time. Edwards with another stolen bag. He is up to 6 on the season. Runners on second and third for Florence. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Minnick. The Macon infield playing back. The Macon outfield playing normal to shallow depth in case of a sac fly. From Minnick, it will not come, as that is swung on and missed for a strikeout. The first strikeout today for Ryland Bosenhard. And the Mingos are down to their last out of the inning. It'll be up to Will Geary, the third baseman, to either get on and get the bases loaded or bring a runner home. Again, Driscoll at third and Edwards at second. A walk and a single so far for Florence as the first pitch is fired in. It finds the outer part of the zone for a strike. Geary 2 for 9 on the year so far, 1 RBI. Has a couple walks as well, an average of 222. Here's the 0-1, that one tipped away. No balls and 2 strikes to the lefty. Jack McCarthy, the catcher, on deck for Florence. Carlos Diaz, the designated hitter, in the hole. Geary will have to protect with a couple strikes on him. Here's the 0-2. He winds and delivers. That one high and out. Again, Bosenhard set, towing the first base side of the rubber. He throws from the windup. Here's the 1-2. Again, that one outside. So a couple of outside leaves from the lefty, Will Geary. Geary, the Ohio Valley Conference Freshman of the Year this past season from Lindenwood. Has struggled in his first few games with the Mingos, but a chance to get back on track. And again, the pitch is outside from Bosenhard. Three straight outside pitches from the righty. Was up 0-2. And now the count is full. Big time payoff pitch coming here in the top of the first. Here it is. That one will be lifted and into foul territory it goes. Down the third base line. Looks like a very well-attended game here at Luther Williams Field. Today's game was announced as a sellout pregame. Faith and family night here at the ballpark. Cheering on their Bacon. Here's the 3-2. That one again fouled down the third base line. That one not entering the concourse here at the stadium. Remains in the field of play, but well into foul territory. There's a lot of foul ground down the first and third base lines. 3-2 again. That one left outside. A patient at bat for Will Geary. He will get on via a walk, and the bases will be loaded full of Mingos for the catcher, Jack McCarthy. But before that, a visit from the Macon dugout. Bosenhard 24 pitches into his outing. An even split between balls and strikes. 12 balls and 12 strikes. A couple of walks for him so far. He only had one walk in his CPL debut. At least the 2026 debut for him. Saturday night against Lexington County. He was outstanding for Macon. Again, 4 innings of shutout ball, 3 hits. Just 1 walk conceded by him. He had 8 strikeouts. And today he's already eclipsed that walks total with 2. So something we'll have to give here. It'll either be an early Florence lead or a situation where they left them loaded as the first pitch comes in. It finds the inner half of the plate for a strike. McCarthy 0 for 5 on the season. He does have 8 plate appearances, as that's left outside for a ball. 3 walks for Jack so far this season. 1 strikeout. He's been able to make contact, but not necessarily get on. 1-1. That one hit towards the second baseman Cassingham. He will field it, and a throw to first is in time for out number 3. So Florence able to load the bases, but they will leave them loaded as we head into the bottom of the first inning. Still a 0-0 game here from Macon. You're listening to Florence Flamingos baseball here on Flamingo Radio. Stay with us. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. I'm the first here from Macon. It's still a 0-0 game between the Flamingos and the Bacon. Flamingos were able to get the bases loaded in the top half of the inning, but a 4-3 putout off the bat of Jack McCarthy ended the potential rally for Florence as we enter the bottom of the first. As the first pitch is a bunt attempt from the leadoff man, Dawson Mock. It'll be picked up by the catcher McCarthy in foul territory, and it'll be an 0-1 start to the bottom half of inning number 1. Dawson Mock leading things off for Macon tonight. He'll be followed by Camden Williamson and Nicholas Richardson. Stephen Jordan in the cleanup spot, followed by Trevor Jones and Sammy Lease. Daniel Spiker in the 7-hole. He'll be followed by Charles Cassingham and Jackson Morse making his Bacon debut. He will be playing third base tonight and batting ninth. Chris Alcorn, the starter for Florence tonight, is up 0-1 on the lefty Mock. Throwing from the stretch. Here's the pitch, and that one is outside for a ball. Alcorn making his second start of the season. He threw a week ago at Morehead City. He threw 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 hits, had 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As the 1-1, again a fastball, that one left outside. Despite the framing effort from the catcher McCarthy, a good lead from Mock, he is up 2-1 in the count. He focuses home and delivers the 2-1. That one finds the zone. Count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alcorn coming from Lindenwood from Collinsville, Illinois. Just completed his sophomore season with the Lions. As the 2-2 comes in, it is chopped down the first base line. It'll be a tough play. It's barehanded by Alcorn. There's no one at first base. So it's an infield single for Mock, and the leadoff man is on for the Macon Bacon. Ball was perfectly placed off the bat of the lefty Mock. Chopped down the right side of the infield, in between the pitcher's mound and the first base bag, a little bit closer towards first, but the first baseman Wooten, as there's another bunt attempt from the 2-hole hitter Williamson, it goes straight back. So no balls and 1 strike to Williamson. Coming from Cumberland in the NAIA ranks in Tennessee. 0-1, that one left upstairs. For the last at-bat for Mock, it was a little closer towards the first base side of things. Alcorn, with his momentum taking him the opposite direction as he is a lefty, had to get himself together quickly, try and make the play, but there was no one at first as the 1-1 misses low for ball 2. As the first baseman Wooten was also charging in and trying to make the play. And the second baseman Jake Richardson, making his Flamingo debut at second, wasn't able to get there in time either. Runner goes from first, the pitch high, the throw from McCarthy is not going to be in time. It is late. That will be a Bacon stolen bag, and they will have a runner in scoring position. 3 balls and 1 strike to the right fielder Williamson. Is having a great start in his time with Macon, batting .529. As the 3-1 will run inside. That will be a walk. And the Macon Bacon will have the first 2 men on. And it'll give way to the 3-hole hitter, Nicholas Richardson. Richardson coming from South Alabama. A few Jaguars on this roster. The starting pitcher, Ryland Bosenhard, from there. Richardson as well. And the second baseman, Charles Cunningham. He squares around, stabs at it, and misses. Pitch will go down as a strike. McCarthy will walk the ball back to the pitcher's mound, hands it off to his southpaw pitcher Alcorn, and have a chat with him at the base of the mound. Mingo's in the all-pink uniforms today, outside of the hats. Black hats for them today. Pink tops and pink bottoms. Macon in the powder blue tops and white bottoms today. I like the look for them. Pitch comes in. That one tipped away. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Steven Jordan, the first baseman, on deck, and Trevor Jones, the designated hitter, in the hole for Macon. No balls and 2 strikes to Richardson. Alcorn peeks at second, now looks home. Picks up his foot and delivers. That one hit opposite way, past the glove of the shortstop, McGee. Into left field it goes. Mock being waved around. He will score, and Macon is up early in this game. An RBI single for Nick Richardson. He went opposite way. And it is 1-0 Macon here in the bottom of the first inning. It was a good effort from the shortstop McGee. Made a couple steps towards his backhand side. Made a leap at it, just couldn't quite get to it. As the first pitch is launched into the left center gap by Steven Jordan, that will get down right at the warning track. Williamson will be waved around. He will score. Richardson being waved around from first. He will score. It is now 3-0 Macon. It has been tough sledding for Chris Alcorn so far. After an opening single, then a walk. A couple of RBI hits from the Bacon, an RBI single from Richardson, and an RBI double from Jordan, a 2 RBI double, I should say. It is a 3-0 Macon lead. Florence still has to record their first out of the inning. Drew Holcomb will emerge from the Flamingo dugout, the pitching coach for the pink and white. The rest of the infield will join in on the conversation. And it looks like, I believe it is Landon Moore making his way to the Flamingo bullpen over the left field wall. The visiting bullpen here at historic Luther Williams Field. Just beyond the left field wall. To the right of the 330 sign, next to the foul pole. Trevor Jones, the DH, now up from Point Park in Pennsylvania, in the Pittsburgh area. Alcorn will step off. Again, a runner on second for Macon. No outs in the bottom of the first inning. The 5-hole hitter up for the team in blue. And the lefty Alcorn will throw it back to second. Richardson will make the grab. Was not able to get to the bag in time to get out the runner at second, Jordan. He didn't have a massive lead anyway. And he will deliver. The throw to third is not going to be in time. Another stolen base for the Macon Bacon. It is their second in this inning. They have another run, potentially 90 feet away. The pitch was a ball, is 1 ball and no strikes to Trevor Jones. Again, coming from Point Park in Pittsburgh. He hammers that one. It takes a tough bounce off the third baseman Geary off of his chest. And Jones will advance to first. Jordan will score from third. And a tough inning will continue with another run being scored. It is now a 4-0 Bacon lead. See if that goes down as a hit or an error. I would have to imagine that would be a hit. That was a incredibly tough hop for the third baseman, Will Geary, as it hit the lip in between the grass infield and the dirt here at the stadium. Not a ton you could do there if you're Geary at the hot corner. That one chopped up the middle will be gloved by McGee at short. His throw to first is in time for a double play. Just what the doctor ordered. If you're Florence, you desperately needed that. You're able to clear the bases and get your first 2 outs of the inning. Now a clean slate to work with now if you're Chris Alcorn, with the 7-hole hitter, Daniel Spiker, now digging in. Spiker, the shortstop today. That one going about 50 feet off of the left arm of Alcorn. It took a bounce in front of home plate, then hit the batter, Spiker. That'll go down as a hit by pitch, and he will make his way towards first. The second free pass allowed by the lefty Alcorn. 1 hit by pitch and 1 walk. The walk coming to Camden Williamson, the second batter today. So now Charles Cassingham, the second baseman for Macon, steps into the batter's box. First pitch to him misses the zone. 1 ball and no strikes to the South Alabama products. Alcorn peaks at first, now goes home. That one will be fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike in the lefty-lefty matchup. Jackson Morse, the third baseman, making his season debut, awaits in the on-deck circle. Got a 4-step lead at first for Spiker. Alcorn looks at him, then goes home. That one runs high and tight for ball number 2. Cassingham so far this season 0 for 9. Still looking for his first hit. He has walked 3 times, though, and scored twice. The 2-1, that one outside. Runner goes from first. The throw down from McCarthy is going to be in time for out number 3. That was a nice play from the shortstop McGee, who had to go offline to catch the ball, then go opposite direction to tag the runner Spiker. He was able to do so successfully, and that is how inning number 1 will end. But not without damage done. A 4-hit, 4-run inning for the Macon Bacon has them on top after 1. After the break, it's more Flamingo baseball here on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network. Stay with us. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. Top of the second here from Macon, Georgia. 7, 8, 9, 2 up in the Mingos batting order. Diaz, Wooten, and McGee will try to kickstart a rally for the pink and white. Now down 4-0 after giving up a 4 spot in the bottom half of inning number 1. Looks like a new rosin bag will be thrown out to the pitcher, Ryland Bosenhard, who was effective in inning number 1. His first inning of work, was able to escape a jam. Had a couple walks and gave up a single to Savoy Edwards. But Florence ultimately left the bases loaded as the first pitch is fired into the DH Carlos Diaz, and it is called for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike to the Western Carolina product as he waves and misses on pitch number 2. Bosenhard has been able to pound the zone early. He's up 0-2 on the righty. Diaz 0 for 3 on the season so far, as that's left upstairs for a ball. Bosenhard is working very quickly right now. Did see Diaz in last Saturday's game against Ashboro as the 1-2 comes in. That will be hit up the middle and will fall into shallow center field for a base knock for Mr. Diaz, his first hit this season, and the leadoff man on for Florence. With a couple strikes on him, Diaz thinking up the middle of the field, just taps one in that direction, able to lift it into shallow center field. Nice play by him, good piece of hitting. And it'll be a runner on first for the first baseman, Charlie Wooten. First pitch to him runs low. 1 ball and no strikes to the lefty. Wooten 1 for 11 on the season, or 1 for 9, I should say. He has 11 plate appearances with 2 walks. 1-0. That one upstairs for ball number 2. Wooten does have an RBI this season. It came a week ago at Morehead City. Gave Florence their first run in that game. That one chopped towards the second baseman, Castingham. He will try to tag out Diaz. He does not. He'll throw it to first to secure 1 out. The Mingos will not get doubled up as Diaz was able to advance 90 feet. He will move to second, and it will be him there with 1 out in the inning. And the 9-hole hitter Parker McGee now digging in. McGee has had a nice start to his season, batting .273. All hits for him this year, as that is clubbed down the first base line. Well in foul territory, though. He is 3 for 11 on the year with 3 singles. He has scored once. But I would say for just graduating high school not too long ago, he has adjusted nicely. 0-1, that one high and in, getting past the catcher Lease. Diaz will advance 90 feet. He moves to third, and the count goes to 1-1. And the backstop here at Luther Williams Field, that has to be straight brick behind home. That took an incredibly hard bounce as it whizzed by the catcher Lease. It bounced so hard, it actually got past home plate, went in between a home and the pitcher's mound. So you might have to be aware of that if you're Diaz, who is currently on third. 1-1. That one, well, that just happened. Another ball that ran too far upstairs. Lease wasn't able to get it, but another hard bounce off of the backstop. It bounced right back to the catcher. So Diaz will remain at third. It will be 2 balls and 1 strike to McGee. So it certainly seems like the only way you'll be able to score from third on a pass ball today would be a bounce horizontally to the left or right of the catcher. 2-1. That one a half swing and a miss from McGee. That one running inside from the righty Bosenhard. He's a strike away from his second strikeout. 2-2. That one popped up. Will wind up behind home. Count will remain even. The leadoff man, Jake Richardson, on deck for Florence. He'll be followed by Sam Driscoll. Florence has done a good job today so far of getting on base. Just a matter of getting him home as a 2-2 comes in. It is called for strike number 3. Bosenhard froze up McGee, found the inner heart of the plate. It is his second strikeout today, and we are up to 2 outs in the second inning. With number 2, Jake Richardson now stepping in. Richardson today 0 for 1. He popped out to the first baseman, Steven Jordan, to open up today's ball game. Lifted that one in foul territory. Bosenhard throwing from the windup. That one getting past the catcher Elise. Diaz coming in from third. He will score. Diaz dove into home head first, Pete Rose style. And it must be some wet dirt in the home plate area, as he did not slide very far, but it was enough to get the job done and get Florence on the scoreboard. And it was very similar to the other 2 wild pitches we saw in the previously in this inning. It ran high. The catcher Elise was not able to get his glove up to catch up to it. But on that last ball, it did not take as hard of a bounce off of the backstop as the previous 2. That one popped up again towards the right side of the infield in foul territory, right in front of the Macon dugout. The first baseman, Steven Jordan, will make the catch. And that's how the top of the second inning will end. So Florence able to get on the board. Diaz able to score from third, heading into the bottom of the second. Florence down 4-1 on the Flamingos Broadcast Network, proudly presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. Flamingos are on the scoreboard as we enter the bottom of the second inning, but they are still down by 3. It is a 4-1 game in advantage of the Macon Bacon. It'll be Cassingham Morse in the top of the order up for Macon. There's a swing and a miss from the lefty Cassingham, who has seen Chris Alcorn in his last AB. Got to a 2-1 count before Daniel Spiker was caught stealing at second. So he does have a look at him already as that one runs inside. And the count will even up at a ball and a strike. Alcorn looking for a much cleaner second inning compared to his first. His first frame, he gave up 4 runs and 4 hits as the 1-1 misses the zone. Outside, a little high as well, perhaps. 1 walk and no strikeouts. Also a hit by pitch from the lefty Alcorn. Needs a clean frame here as the 2-1 misses outside. We're in the midst of a busy stretch right now of Flamingo baseball. They'll be back in action tomorrow night at home. As the 3-1 comes in, it is hit up the middle, gloved by McGee at short. The throw to first is a little offline. It pops out of the glove of Wooten. And it will be another base runner for Macon. Went right over the pitcher's mound, trending right over the second base bag. McGee had to go to his left-hand side, made a nice play to spear at the ball and glove it. But his throw to first a little up the line. The first baseman, Wooten, had to step off. And regardless, it popped out of his glove anyway as he received it. And it will be another base runner for the Macon Bacon. The 9-hole hitter, Jackson Morse, now up. Runner goes from first, the pitch high. Here's a throw down from McCarthy. It is not going to be in time. Thought for a split second that there could be batter's interference cause. Morse was starting to lean over the plate, but was able to back up in time to avoid the penalty. So once again, Macon with an opportunity to score and grow their lead. They have a runner on second, still no outs. A 1-0 pitch coming to Morse. And he will take off. He squares around. That one hit him. Hit his front foot. Cassingham was going on the pitch. He had got an outstanding jump off of the lefty Alcorn. He will have to go back to second. So in that sense, it's best case scenario for the Flamingos. That could very easily be runners on the corners, or at least a runner on third. Instead, it will be runners on second and first. Still no outs, though. Still not a great situation for Florence defensively, with the leadoff man, Dawson Mock, now up. First pitch, a wave and a miss. Mock today, 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. Had a stolen base as well, and would later come in to score off of the RBI single from Richardson. Here's the 0-1. That one finds the zone. And Alcorn a strike away from recording his first K. Love to have one here. Here's the 1-2. Or 0-2, I should say. Now it's 1-2. Missed a snail's whisker outside. Mock coming from South Florida. Played in 2 games for the Bulls this past season. He's had a great start to his CPL campaign as he lifts that one into left field. Minnick will drift back and make the grab. We are up to 1 out in inning number 2. Try to get a ground ball here if you're Alcorn as he faces Camden Williamson. Williamson with the walk his last time up. Would later come in to score. One of 4 runs that were put up by the Bacon. Their first time up. They're up 4-1, bottom of the second inning. 1 out, a couple runners on. Runners on second and first as the first pitch misses low from the lefty Alcorn. His fastball has a lot of sink on it. Technically goes down as a sinker. As the runners will go, he'll step off and no throw to third. Just a straight steal from Charles Cassingham. The Macon Bacon have had an absolute field day running-wise against the lefty Alcorn so far. For whatever reason, they have been able to time him up perfectly. Runner goes from first. That pitch high. No throw from McCarthy. And it will be a couple runners in scoring position. So now the double play option eliminated for Florence. They will have to get out of another jam here in the second inning. 2 balls and no strikes to Williamson. Here's the pitch. That one lifted down the left field line. That is a fair ball into left field. Minnick bobbles it. 2 runs will score, and it will be an RBI double for Camden Williamson. A tough start for Florence defensively, continuing in inning number 2. That one roped by the righty Williamson. Not straight down the left field line, but in that direction. Certainly to the right of the left fielder, Minnick. That brings in a couple runs. It is now a 6-1 advantage for Macon, as the first pitch to Nick Richardson is fouled away for a strike. I was mentioning earlier, we're in the midst of a busy season right now and a busy stretch for Florence, as they will be back at home tomorrow to take on the High Point Thomasville High Toms before traveling to Martinsville on Sunday. As the pitch comes in, it's called for a strike. So no balls and 2 strikes to Richardson. And then they'll be back home on Monday to take on the Lexington County Blowfish before a league-wide off day on Tuesday. The 0-2, that one a slider that's chopped away. Count will remain at 0-2 to the lefty Richardson. Williamson was running on the pitch from second. He'll have to retreat back. And I mentioned that it's a busy stretch because you might be in a situation right now, if you're Eli Brum, where you just kind of have to let Alcorn go as long as he needs to at least reach his pitch count. Pitch comes in. That one squirts out of the glove of McCarthy. The pitch was high. Williamson will advance to third. Count goes to 1-2. And on this away game today, it was a lighter group for Florence today, as far as the amount of players in general that they brought, and especially pitchers. You know, you have 3 straight games ahead of you. You have to plan ahead, as that's fouled away. Count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Alcorn is now 41 pitches in. We'll see how much longer he will remain out there, as the 1-2 is called for strike 3. The first strikeout today for Alcorn gets us to 2 outs in the inning. And it'll be up to Jordan to keep the inning going for Macon. Jordan, coming into today's game, batting .261, was 6 for 23 on the year, now 7 for 24 after his RBI double his last time up. Looking for another ribby here, as the first pitch is high and away for a ball. Now 10 RBIs on the season and 2 doubles. 1-0, that one upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to the righty Jordan. The Florence infield playing back outside of the first baseman Geary, playing evenly depth with the third base bag. 2-0, that one hit opposite way. It landed in foul territory. It hit the foot of the first base umpire before going back into the field of play. It'll go down as a foul ball. A very odd one at that, and the count will go to 2-1. I mean, you could see the mark that it left in the infield dirt, and then it short hopped and hit the umpire's foot. They say every game of baseball that you watch or are a part of in some sort of fashion, you see something you haven't seen before. I'm not sure if I've seen that before quite in that fashion. 2-1. That one hit up the middle. The shortstop McGee can't quite get to it, and it will be an RBI single for Jordan. His third RBI today. And it is now a 7-1 Macon lead. So with Trevor Jones, the designated hitter, now digging in. He is 1 for 1 today. He singled his first time up. We'll look to make it 2 for 2. I mean, during my years of playing and watching and broadcasting baseball, I've certainly seen umpires being hit by the ball as the first pitch comes in and runs inside. But I have not seen one from a first base umpire being hit in the fashion that he did in a close call. I was close to the foul line as the pitch comes in. That one is hit into center field and will be caught by Edwards for out number 3. So a 3-run frame for the Macon Bacon. After 2, it is 7-1 in advantage of Macon. More Flamingo baseball and fun umpire stories on the other side of this break on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. Edwards and Minnick due up for the Mingos as we enter inning number 3 from Luther Williams Field, the home of the Macon Bacon. I would have to assume this is the oldest ballpark in the CPL. I'm 99% sure of that, as the first pitch to Driscoll is lifted up towards the left side of the field. And it will be the shortstop Spiker taking charge and making the grab for out number 1. They call it historic Luther Williams Field, and you could certainly understand why. As soon as you walk in, the almost all brick layout on the outside. The stadium was built in 1929. It's hosted quite a lot of baseball throughout its time, as there's a wave and a miss from Savoy Edwards. Edwards today, 1 for 1. He singled his last time up. Nearly an RBI as the 0-1 comes in. That gets a wave and a miss. The runner Driscoll was held up, and it was the right call. I mean, obviously looking back at it, considering the score, you're like, well, how can you hold him up? As there's a swing and a miss. That's a 3-pitch strikeout from Bosenhard to Edwards. 2 up, 2 down in the inning. But you just have to take the situation as it was at the time. And it was a good throw from the right fielder, Williamson, who was playing in. In my opinion, at least, it would have been enough to get out Driscoll. So I certainly don't have an issue with him being held up in that play back in the top of the first inning. First pitch upstairs to Zeke Minnick. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging his first time up. The Bacon have been playing here since 2018. As that's chopped down the third base line. And the amount of not only baseball games that are played here, it's also it's a movie set. Most well known for 42, the Jackie Robinson biopic, very good movie. Some of that was filmed here as that is lifted into shallow left field, and it will be caught by the left fielder Richardson for out number 1. Quick inning in the top of the third. Mingos go down in order. Heading into the bottom of the third, Florence down 7 to 1 here on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, proudly presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. Bottom of the third here from Middle Georgia. It will be Lease, Spiker, and Cassingham due up for the Macon Bacon. Currently up 7 to 1 over the Florence Flamingos. It has been all Bacon today. Need a clean frame from Chris Alcorn, who remains on the bump for the pink and white. Throwing from the stretch, he delivers and gets a wave and a miss from the catcher, Sammy Lease. Lease today, 0 for 1. Grounded into a double play his last time up to the shortstop, McGee. He is the one member of the Bacon batting order that has not reached base so far today, and that will now change as he ropes that one down the left field line. Deflects off the sidewall into the glove of the left fielder, Minnick. It's a stand-up double for Lease. And once again, the Macon Bacon have a runner in scoring position. Mentioned some of the TV shows and movies that have been filmed here at historic Luther Williams Field. The TV show Brockmire, which is about a baseball broadcaster, was filmed here. I've not seen that show, but I've seen one scene. It's a scene where he really loses his mind and the whole basis of the show, basically, as that is chopped into the glove of the third baseman, Geary. He will go across the diamonds, and Daniel Spiker will be retired on one pitch. If you know the scene that I'm talking about, if you know, you know. I'm not sure how much I can describe it. in this situation without me getting fired. So certainly don't want to do that. But what I can do is describe some of the players that have played here. If you walk in the stadium as the first pitch comes into the lefty Cassingham, it's called for a strike. If you walk in the stadium, the Hall of Fame is just around the concourse here when you walk in. Some of the players that have played here or just featured here, very similar to the Baseball Hall of Fame, as that's fouled away. It's pretty much a Hall of Fame light here. Just looking at the Wikipedia page now, former players that have played here: Pete Rose, Tony Perez, as a Cincinnati native, they don't need any introduction. Vince Coleman, Chipper Jones, and Andrew Jones. Some former Braves that have played here. That's fouled away. The count will remain at 0-2. Again, built in 1929. Jackie Robinson played here April 7th, 1949. Broke the state's color barrier, as that's blocked up by the catcher McCarthy. It'll go down as a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cassingham. On that day, Robinson broke the state's color barrier during an exhibition game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Macon Peaches. I mean, it's certainly an older stadium, doesn't have some of the nice amenities that some of the modern parks do. But as a baseball historian, or attempted historian, as that will get through into center field, Lease will be waved around from third. He will score. That will be an RBI single for Charles Cassingham. It is now an 8-1 Macon lead. But as someone that loves the game of baseball and loves the history behind it, just walking into this stadium and just walking in the concourse area and seeing all of the signs and Hall of Fame areas throughout the park, it's really, really cool to see, as Drew Holcomb will emerge from the Flamingo dugout, and this will be the end of the road for Chris Alcorn. Get you his final stat line and the new Flamingo pitcher after this break. It's Florence Flamingos baseball on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network here on YouTube. Stay with us. New arm in for the Mingos. It is Kane Braxton making his second appearance of the year. His last one came a week ago at Morehead City. He threw 2 2/3, gave up 3 runs and 3 hits. He had 2 walks and 5 strikeouts against the Fish in that one. He'll have a runner on first to work with in Cassingham. He has a large extended lead. Here's a throw down from McCarthy. It is not in time. The first pitch was to Jackson Morse, the 9-hole hitter. It was a ball. Morse today hit by a pitch his first time up, making his season debut in the CPL, coming from George Mason. Morse had a very good season for the Patriots. This last college year, runner goes from first, pitches a strike. Here's a throw from McCarthy. It's not in time. Another stolen base for Macon. Believe that is now 5 stolen bags for the men in the powder blue uniforms. As it is a 1-1 count to Morse. Braxton peeks at Cassingham at second. Now focuses home. He delivers. That one is high for a ball. Wrapping up the day for the starter, Chris Alcorn. He will want to forget about his start today as quickly as he can. He got through 2 1/3, gave up 8 runs. All of them were earned, and 9 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. That one hit opposite way. That will get into right field. Cassingham will be held up at third. It will be a single for Morse, his first hit today. And it will be runners on the corners for the Macon Bacon. There's only one hitter that does not have a hit for Macon so far. It is Daniel Spiker, the 7-hole hitter, the shortstop today for Macon. Every other player has at least 1 hit. So runners on the corners for the leadoff man, Mock. Here's the pitch. That one will be fielded by the second baseman, Richardson. His throw over the first is high and not in time. Cassingham scores from third. That would have been the case regardless. Morse able to advance to second. That also would have been the case regardless. But Mock will be at first after the error from the second baseman, Richardson. Wooten was able to jump up and make the grab. Just wasn't able to get his foot down in time. Just a step behind the batter, Mock, who's able to get on for the second time today. Now a 9-1 lead for Macon. Runners on second and first. Here's the pitch. It's called for a strike to Camden Williamson. Williamson 1 for 1 today. 2 RBI double his last time up. Braxton finds the zone again. And just wrapping up the day for Alcorn, putting a bow on it. Just one of those days for him today. It wasn't like he was missing the zone. Not a lot of free passes as the runners go. That one a bouncer off of the glove of McCarthy as he tried to backhand it. Went way up into the sky. I want to say like 20, 25 feet into the sky, which easily allowed Morse and Mock to advance. They are at second and third, and the count goes to 1-2 to the righty Williamson. Macon today with 9 runs and 10 hits. Florence with 1 run and 2 hits, 2 errors defensively as that goes inside. Nearly got a piece of Williamson. He's able to move his front shoulder out of the way for a ball. So an even 2-2 count. Macon scored 4 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 so far in the third. Florence looking to keep it that way as the pitch comes in. It misses high. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 2-hole hitter. Williamson just continuing his strong start. Came into today's game batting .529 on the year. That average will look to improve if he gets a hit here. That is hit towards the third baseman, Geary. Throws it to the catcher, McCarthy. The runner is now in a rundown. Throw back to home, and a tag applied is going to be in time after Geary was able to tag the runner at third, Morse. So that will bring us to 2 outs in the inning. Williamson was able to advance to second after that last play. Mock is at third. So the same situation as the previous at-bat. Runners on second and third, now just with 2 outs. So Braxton will look to end the inning here. Here's the first pitch. And a throw down from McCarthy. A tag applied at third. It's in time for out number 3. So a couple of nice defensive plays for Florence. A couple of outs made on the bases by Macon. Brings us to a 9-1 game after 3 here from Middle Georgia. Listening to the Florence Flamingos on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, proudly presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Stay with us. Flamingo Radio. Top of the fourth here from Macon. It'll be Geary, McCarthy, and Diaz due up for the Mingos. A very nice and inspiring moment in between innings after the third inning. A couple of young men out there, AJ and KJ, both battling a sickle cell type SS disease as the first pitch comes in, and it's called for a strike to Will Geary. That great moment as both teams went onto the field down the first and third base lines, and each of them getting a great home run and a great celebration at home as both teams coming in to congratulate them. Both those balls still traveling here in Macon, Georgia. Quite the home run for both AJ and KJ. As the 1-1 is hit opposite way from the lefty Geary, it will be caught by the left fielder Nicholas Richardson for out number 1 of inning number 4. Tomorrow night at Carolina Bank Field, it will be strikeout cancer night as the Mingos take on the High Point Thomasville High Toms. Now, before the game, we will also have a similar moment to that. Always a inspiring and cool sight to see at the ballpark as there's a wave and a miss from Jack McCarthy to begin his at-bat. Mingos will host the High Toms tomorrow night, travel to Martinsville on Sunday night, and take on the Lexington County Blowfish. Back at home, back at Carolina Bank Field, that will be Monday evening at 7 o'clock, as there's a swing and a miss again from McCarthy. The count goes to 0-2. And then after the league-wide off day on Tuesday, head down to Lexington, down to the fish tank to take on the Blowfish on the road for the first time this season, as that's outside for a ball. And then more Flamingo action later on in that week. They will have games next Thursday, actually a split squad in that one, Friday, Saturday, and they're off that Sunday. That one chopped towards the third baseman Morse. His throw across the diamond is in time. Jordan able to hang on to the bag with his right foot. It is 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning. Carlos Diaz will dig in for the Mingos. Diaz 1 for 1 today. He singled into shallow center field with a couple of strikes on him. Would later come in to score. He scored from third after the wild pitch from the starter Bosenhard, who finds the zone for strike number 1. It was a shaky start to Bosenhard's outing, as there's a wave and a miss from Diaz. No balls and 2 strikes to him. Mingos loaded the bases in the first, ultimately scored in the second. But since then, 5 straight retired batters from Bosenhard. Actually, it goes further than that. 8 straight batters, I should say, retired by Mr. Bosenhard, coming from South Alabama, as the 1-2 misses low. He's pitching closer to the first time he pitched this CPL season back on Saturday night against Lexington County, where he threw 4 innings of shutout ball. And he is continuing it through 4 here as he freezes up Diaz and strikes him out looking. He is up to 4 strikeouts today. He's retired 9 straight Flamingos as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Mingos trail 9-1 here on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, proudly presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Stay with us. You are listening to Flamingo Radio. Goes down 9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It has been the Macon Bacon show here in front of their home crowd. Richardson, Jordan, and Jones due up for them in this half inning. First pitch coming in from Kane Braxton. That one misses the zone for a ball. Braxton has thrown 2/3 so far, giving up just one hit. Had a few nice defensive plays where Macon has gotten caught on the base paths as the 1-0 misses the zone. Certainly to Mr. Braxton's benefit as they're looking for their first clean inning today as the 2-0 is outside for ball number 3. Macon scored 4 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. 3-0 coming from Braxton, towing the first base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch, and that one clips the outer half of the plate for strike number 1. If we're following the counting down trend, 4-3-2, Macon would score a 1 run this inning as the 3-1 is fired in and it misses high. Just the second walk today allowed by Flamingo pitching. They do have 2 hit by pitches as well, so 4 free passes in total. That hasn't been the biggest issue for Florence today. They have just quite simply gotten hit. They've gotten hit and hit hard today by this Macon team. As Steven Jordan digs in, he's 2 for 2 today with 3 RBIs as the first pitch misses high and in. Jordan with a 2 RBI double his first time up and an RBI single his last. Richardson creeping off of first. Braxton will throw in his direction. He's able to get back. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, let's take a look around the CPL scoreboard. The Ashboro Zookeepers off to a great start this season. They're 5-0 as that pitch is grounded in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Jordan. Ashboro up 5-0. Or sorry, I should say they are 5-0 on the season. They're up 13-6 in the top of the 6th inning there. 2-0. That one high and outside for ball 3. Wilmington, the Sharks, they are up 1-0 against Moorhead City. Top of the 8th inning there. The first game of the Chum Bucket Challenge. The pitch coming in from Braxton. That one hit right into the glove of Geary at third. A great play by him, snagging the line drive from the batter, Jordan. And that was a tremendously well-hit ball by Steven Jordan. Roped it right into the glove of Geary, who just had to reach up and try and make a play at it, and came up with the ball. That would have certainly been extra bases for the Georgia Southern product, and possibly a run. Richardson could have gone home from first. So nice defensive play by Geary at the hot corner as the first pitch comes in to Trevor Jones, and it's called for a strike. Here's the 0-1, and that one grounds in the dirt and backpicked by McCarthy behind the dish. The Boone Bigfoots up 5-0 over Lexington County, top of the 8th inning there. And the Tri-City Chili Peppers and Greenville Yard Gnomes, as that is fouled straight back for strike 2. Richardson was stealing on the pitch. He'll have to retreat back to first. Tri-City and Greenville tied up at 3 in the top of the 7th inning. The Peninsula Pilots looking for their second win of the year. They're up 8-2 over the Zebulon Devil Dogs, as the 1-2 is left up by Jones. The count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Holly Springs Salamanders and Martinsville Mustangs scheduled to play at 7 o'clock. They have not started yet as the runner goes from first. The pitch is low and out. No throw, no attempts from McCarthy. Never really had an attempt to make a competitive throw with where the pitch took him. So it'll be a runner on second and a 3-2 count to the DH Jones. Bacon up 9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Braxton set from the stretch, takes a deep breath, and goes home. And will get a chopped ground ball to Geary, who will throw it across the diamonds. And the throw is in time for out number 2. I would assume we're in a rain delay in Martinsville between the Mustangs and the Salamanders. That'd be my best educated guess. Again, a runner on second here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sammy Lease, the batter now, the catcher. Mingos are an out away from their first scoreless frame, as the first pitch from Braxton is high and outside. Braxton came in the third inning of last week's game against Morehead City as he fires in a strike. It's a 1-1 count to Lease. Again with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. And he started off pretty effectively. Didn't allow a run through the first 2 innings that he pitched. As he fires in a strike, the count goes to 1-2. The fifth inning is where some damage was done. Gave up a couple runs in that frame. And that's where the wheels started to fall off for the righty Braxton. Looking to avoid a similar fate here. He's had a strong start so far. Looking to end the bottom of the fourth inning here. Here's the 1-2, and he will do just that. He gets a swing and a miss from the catcher Lease, and that is how inning number 4 will end. Bacon get a runner on, but they leave him at second. After 4, the Mingos are down 9-1 on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, proudly presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Flamingo Radio. New arm in for the Macon Bacon as we enter the top of the 5th inning. It is Matthew Jenkins, who just came in today for the Macon Bacon, making his first appearance with them. He is coming from the University of Florida. He did not have any appearances for the Gators in this past season. Just finished his junior year as the first pitch in his season, his CPL season, I should say. Runs inside to the lefty Charlie Wooten. Wooten today 0 for 1 with the ground out. And here's the 1-0. Again, that's inside. It was his second season at Florida. He made 9 appearances in the 2025 season, including 4 starts, 1 weekend start, as that's flared opposite way into foul territory off the bat of Wooten. Threw 14 innings for the Gators in that 2025 season. Racked up 24 strikeouts. He has good stuff, it appears. Could fired it in as he misses inside for ball 3. He had a K per 9 of 15.4 in that 2025 season. That is very, very good. But it does have some trouble locating on the 3-1. That one going high and in. And Wooten will walk in, make his way towards first. He began his college career at Santa Fe College, which is also in Gainesville. It's right by the University of Florida. In high school, he played at Lafayette High School. He's from Live Oak, Florida. So he has the full Central Florida experience, or I should say Gainesville experience, going to both Santa Fe and UF. As there's a swing and a miss from McGee. Maybe like a 50% swing. Was unsure if he wanted to go or not. He went anyway. Here's the 0-1. That one outside. Upstairs as well. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Of course, Florida in the NCAA tournament hosted a region as the 1-1 is blocked up by the catcher Lease. But were eliminated by the Troy Trojans in the last round of that regional. And Troy hosting their super regional today. They were a 3 seed in that region. Ended up hosting a super regional against Little Rock. As the pitch comes in, that will be fouled back. The count will go to 2-2. Wooten was running on the pitch. He will jog his way back to first. And the Trojans of Troy with a big win, I should say, in game 1 of that Super Regional. A 12-2 win over Little Rock. As the 2-2 comes in, he gets a swing and a miss from McGee. First strikeout for Matthew Jenkins, and we're up to 1 out in the inning. Day started with a 12-2 West Virginia win over Cal Poly. And USC with a 9-5 win at North Carolina. So the Trojans a win away from reaching Omaha. Both USC and Troy. Ole Miss up 1-0 in the bottom of the second. That's the 4th and final game to begin today. As the first pitch to leadoff man Jake Richardson runs high. Richardson batting from the left-handed batter's box. He's listed as a switch hitter. I was talking to head coach Eli Brum about him because he's coming from Eastern Florida State College where Eli was his hitting coach. As the 1-0 misses high for ball 2. Richardson, very capable of hitting from the left-handed side. He just doesn't necessarily feel comfortable doing it all the time. But as he's looking for a new home as his time is up at the JUCO ranks, as that's high and then getting past the catcher Lease. A free 90 feet for Charlie Wooten. He settles in at second. But as I mentioned, Richardson not necessarily the most, comfortable batting from the left-handed spot, but I know a lot of college coaches would be interested in seeing it as he looks for his new home. If he's able to do that, if he's an effective batter from both sides of the plate, obviously that increases your value to many college programs. We will not be able to see it here, though, as the 3-0 runs inside. A 4-pitch walk to Jake Richardson, and he'll make his way towards first. Jake celebrating his 22nd birthday today as well. So happy birthday to Jake the Snake Richardson. That's his self-appointed nickname. When he introduced himself to the Flamingo world and the flock in one of the questions of the day posted on Florence Flamingos social media channels. With Sam Driscoll now up for Florence, he looks at a strike to begin his at-bat. That one lifted away. That will get into foul territory. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes to the lefty Driscoll. Wrapping up the day for the Macon starter, Ryland Bosenhard, or Bosenhard, I should say, pardon me. Got through the first 4 innings, gave up 1 run and 2 hits, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts in his second start of the season. As there's a half swing and a miss from Driscoll. He will go down on strikes. We're up to 2 outs in the inning. Both of them strikeouts from Matthew Jenkins, the first reliever today for the Macon Bacon. So through 2 starts, 2 very good starts for Bosenhard. We'll see how effective he can be throughout this CPL season as the first pitch comes into Savoy Edwards, and it misses the zone for a ball. Edwards today 1 for 2 with a single. He struck out swinging his last time up, has a stolen base as well. As that's fouled straight back. The count will leave up at a ball and a strike. Edwards now 6 for 6 on stolen base attempts this season. This is only his 3rd game being with the Mingos. As the 1-1 comes in, it's called for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the lefty Edwards. And it's fascinating that Savoy has picked up so many stolen bases. He only had 3 this past college year at North Carolina A&T. 1-2. That one grounded back to the first baseman, Jordan. He will take it himself. And that is how the top of the 5th inning will end. So a couple of walks for Florence, but they will leave them on the bases. Heading to the bottom half of inning number 5. Mingo's down 9-1 on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Radio. Maine Braxton remaining in the pitch for Florence. It will be 7, 8, 9 in the Macon batting order. As we enter the bottom of the 5th inning here from historic Luther Williams Field, it is a packed crowd tonight at the ballpark. As the first pitch from Braxton is swung on and missed for strike number 1. Certainly not an unfamiliar sight. Remember some games where I traveled here last season, I think all of them were sold out, or at least close to it. At least all of the stands behind home plate were full. That's hit towards the shortstop McGee. It pops out of his glove into shallow left field it goes. That will go down as an E6, and that will be another base runner for Macon. That will be the 3rd error today for Florence. Anyways, going back to some of the games last year, where we were set up was a little different, though. We were behind home, but just up in the crowd a little bit, towards the last few rows. There's like a little section with a desk and a chair, and around it, the advertisement around that little section, it's like a cubicle kind of, as that's hit up the middle. It bounces off of the glove of Braxton, and the lefty Charles Castingham will get on board. Just an unfortunate break there for the hurler Braxton. Castingham just hit it right back to where it came from. Bounced off of his glove. Not a ton you could do there if you're the pitcher Braxton. And it'll be a couple of runners on for the Macon Bacon. Spiker at second and Castingham at first, with Jackson Morse now up for Macon. First pitch to him is called for a strike. But yeah, that little cutoff area we were last year, the advertisements around it, it was a school bus. It's always called the school bus area here at Luther Williams Field. And you're up in the crowd, so you're with the people. As there's a half swing and a miss. Morse did go around. On the breaking pitch from Braxton, it'll be no balls and 2 strikes to him. And I liked it in that you get a lot of the background sound, and you really get to hear the crowd. I just remember my last game there was a screaming baby either right next to me or very close to me as the 0-2 misses away. And with your headset on, you can't necessarily hear it as loud as if you were just sitting there normally as a fan. But even I noticed it. I don't want to say I was annoyed, but it was certainly noticeable throughout that game. As Braxton will go to second, and Richardson had to hop over to the other side of the second base bag to secure the baseball and prevent it from getting into center field. He was able to do so, though, and the runners will remain where they are. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jackson Morse. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch from Braxton. That one runs inside for a ball. But you got to see the crowd throughout the game, which I thought was pretty cool. Today we are situated in the press box. So right behind home plate. It's a nice view. I don't have any complaints. It's just a lot quieter as the 2-2 comes in. It misses low, and the count will run a full 3-2 to the righty Morse. I think Braxton was a little frustrated on that last pitch. And he will look to find the zone here on the 3-2. He's set from the stretch. Looks at second. Now goes home. Here it is. That one a half swing that goes straight back off the bat of Morse. Count will remain at 3-2. So yeah, a little different broadcasting from, in the crowd versus being in a traditional press box. I'm not going to complain about too much, though, as the 3-2 misses a smidge outside. And it will be a hard-earned walk for Morse. And the bases will be loaded full of Bacon. And it'll be the leadoff man, Dawson Mock, digging into the batter's box. Mock today 1 for 3. He singled his first time up. Also has a fly out mixed in there. He reached on air his last time up. Bases loaded, no outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. It is low, and it's blocked up by McCarthy. There appears to be action in the Florence bullpen. At least guys standing around. Not sure if I see anyone warming up. Most of the bullpen is blocked off by the outfield wall in left field. There's a little opening where you can see all the players watching the game as the 1-0 is called for a strike. There is a guy with a glove in hand ready to go. So we'll see how much longer Braxton remains in. He is 43 pitches in. 1-1, a wave and a miss. At least it appears that he is ready to go. Can't tell exactly who it is. Could be a situation where we see a traditionally a position player hop onto the pitcher's mound at some point in this game as the 1-2 misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dawson Mock. Again, bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, making up 9-1. Here's the 2-2. That one will be hit just beyond the glove of McGee at short. Goes into center field. 1 run will score. Another being waved around. He will score. It is a 2 RBI single for Mock, and now an 11-1 lead in favor of the Macon Bacon. Morse able to advance from first to second. 2 RBIs for Mock, as Drew Holcomb will emerge from the Flamingo dugout, make his way towards the pitcher's mound, and pick up his left arm and motion towards the Flamingo bullpen. So that'll be the end of the day for Braxton. He got through an inning and 2/3. Gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout for him. He is responsible for runners on second and first, so the door is not closed on him. We will get you the new Flamingo arm after this break on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Bottom of the 5th inning here from Macon, Georgia. It's been all Bacon so far. Mingo's down 11-1 to their rival. And a new arm in for the pink and white. It is Cole Lasher making his pitching debut with the Mingos. Lasher, usually an outfielder, standing at 6'2", 195 pounds. As he fires in a pitch, it misses high to Camden Williamson. Lasher just completed his freshman year at FGCU. Played in 39 games with the Eagles, as that's fouled away. He started 31, batted .254, on base .353, slugged .272. But he is currently in the transfer portal looking for his new home. And one of his interests, or at least something that he might want to do, as that runs inside behind the batter, Williamson. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Something he at least has interest in is pitching and becoming a two-way guy. He never did it for Florida Gulf Coast this past year. As the 2-1 comes in, once again it's inside. Williamson had to swerve out of the way to avoid being hit. And it will be 3 balls and 1 strike to the batter. A very closed stance for Lasher. Here's the pitch, and it finds the zone. That one frisbeeing its way in to the strike zone. A full 3-2 count to Williamson, who has gotten on in all 3 of his plate appearances today. Here's the payoff, and that one runs upstairs. So Lasher will have an opportunity late in this game to showcase his pitching talents. As he tries to get out of this jam. Again, the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Flamingos still looking for their first out. Down 11-1, you don't want to expand the deficit much more, as there's a strong secondary lead at third for Morse. As the first pitch misses to the 3-hole hitter Richardson. You're in a situation right now, if you're Florence, where you don't want to give up any more runs, as the run rule is currently in effect, as the 1-0 misses high. 2 balls and no strikes to the lefty Richardson. Walked his last time up, has an RBI single today. And Lasher again misses the zone. 3 balls and no strikes to the batter. Run rule doesn't come into effect until the 7th. So still time for Florence to get on the board offensively as the 3-0 finds the zone. And again, you're in a situation right now, if you're head coach Eli Brum, as that misses outside, that will walk in a run. It is now a 12-1 Macon lead. You're in a situation, if you're Brum and company, where you know this game's very likely, very, very likely out of reach. And you know you have games Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Especially for a squad that has a lighter travel roster today, especially in the pitching department. It puts you in a tough spot for the rest of this game, but Lasher and whoever else might come in might just have to wear it and try to get through this. And at least if you're a Lasher right now, you get the pitching experience that you will need if you want to become a two-way guy, as Jordan will step in, the first baseman. Lasher delivers and finds the outer part of the zone for strike number 1. Trevor Jones, designated hitter, on deck, and Sammy Lease, the catcher, in the hole for the Macon Bacon.
0-1. That one, a bouncer gets past the catcher, McCarthy. That will be free 90 feet for everyone on the bases. Mock will score from third. Williamson advances from second to third. Richardson goes from first to second. As another run for the Macon Bacon, now a 12-1 lead. Now a 4-run inning for the boys in the powder blue uniforms. Powder blue tops and white bottoms for the Macon Bacon today. Mingo's in the all pink as the 1-1 misses high. The numbers today for Macon are shaped like, well, strips of bacon. Appropriate for the team. A stylish look for them. Pitch comes in. That one lifted into center field. Edwards backing up. He'll make the grab. Runners will tag up. The throw goes to third. It will not be in time. It'll be a sac fly for Jordan. Williamson is able to score. Richardson will go from second to third. And it is now a 13-1 lead for Macon. Does give Florence their first out of the inning. So it'll be 1 out and a runner on third for the Bacon as Trevor Jones, the designated hitter, now digs in. The Macon dugout looking much more full compared to the Florence dugout. As the first pitch comes in from Lasher, it misses the zone. Be a 1-0 count to the righty Jones. Of course, it does make sense. Macon is at home today. Everyone on the roster would very likely be here as the pitch comes in. And that one just misses. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Flamingo players in the dugout, or at least in the area, as the 2-0 comes in. And that one is a smidge downstairs for ball 3. So a 3-0 count to Trevor Jones. And looks like a couple more Mingos in the bullpen area as the 3-0 is called for a strike. So I believe 7 players in addition to the 9, so a total of 16 on the team as of right now, or at least making the trip. As the 3-1 is bounced to the shortstop, McGee spins around, makes a throw first. It's all flying, gets past the first baseman, Wooten. Richardson scores from third. And it is now a 14-1 lead for the Macon Bacon. That is run number 5 of the inning. Looks like that ball got out of play. That is going to be the official ruling. So Jones will go to second. It was a great effort from McGee to field the ball as it was heading into center field. Spun around glove side, but the throw just not accurate enough. Seen that a few times today from Flamingo defenders. And it will bring in another base runner for Macon. The run would have scored regardless. But runner on second now for the Macon Bacon in Trevor Jones. Sammy Lease now up, the catcher, who watches a first pitch strike. Macon now up 15-1 as that is hit opposite way. That will get through into right field. Runner at third, Jones, will be held up there. The second baseman, Richardson, able to put his chest on it. And that saved a run. Eli Brum will emerge from the Flamingo dugout, clap his hands, and make his way towards the pitcher's mound. He looks towards the Flamingo bullpen. It looks like this is going to be it for Cole Lasher. He will take the ball away. Final stat line for Cole. Got through a third gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks and no strikeouts for him. Book not closed on him, however, as we will get a new Mingo arm here in the bottom of the 5th inning. More Mingo baseball after this break here on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. New arm in for the Mingos. It is the side armor Landon Moore, making his 2nd appearance of the season. We saw him earlier this week against the Forest City Owls. He threw an inning and a third in that one. And in that game, he allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. He hits the first batter he sees in Sammy Lease. And that will, once again, load the bases full of Macon Bacon. Looks like we have some substitutions in now for Macon. Trey Babbitt is in the game. He is pitch running for Sammy Lease. He is at second base. And looks like we have a pitch hitter in for Macon. Rudy Baruchel in the game. He'll be pitch hitting for Charles Cassingham. 0-1 from Moore. That one skied into the left center gap. Very, very shallow. And it will fall in for a hit. Runners will move up 90 feet. And once again, the Macon Bacon will score. It has just been that type of day today for Florence. It is now a 16-1 lead for Macon. Now 7 runs scored by the opposing team here in the bottom of the 5th. Just been that type of day today. It's a 9-hole hitter. Jackson Morse will step in for the 4th time today. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Moore fires in a strike. It is an 0-1 count to Morse, who is 1 for 1 today. Hit by pitch, a single, and a walk. Looking to make it 4-4-4. Wendy style. Pitch from Moore. That one misses the zone. An even 1-1 count. This is the first of 10 meetings between the Flamingos and the Bacon this season. Many of them are towards the latter half of the year. As the 1-1 comes in, it's called for a strike. You know, for how often these teams play each other, it's a little surprising that we're just over a week in. This is the first time they're playing, and they don't play again until the 22nd of June. As Moore is set, ready to deliver the 1-2. Here it is, and that one misses low and outside. And the next game will be back here at Luther Williams Field. The first game in Florence at Carolina Bank Field between the Macon and the Mingos isn't until the 25th of this month. 2-2. That one chopped opposite way in foul territory. Babbitt at third. Spiker at second. And now Marshall at first for Macon. 2-2 pitch coming to Morse. Moore is set from the mound. Ready to deliver his signature sidearm style. He delivers it, and it's low. Flamingo infield playing normal depth. Outfield playing shallow in case of a fly ball. And the runner tagging up from third in Babbitt. Payoff pitch coming from Moore. He's set, he winds, he delivers, he strikes him out. That one tipped into the glove of the catcher McCarthy. The first strikeout today for Landon Moore. That will get us to 2 outs in the inning. With leadoff man Dawson Mock up for the 5th time today and the 2nd time in this inning. Runs by inning for Macon today, 4-3-2-0-7. First pitch. It clips the outside part of the zone for a strike. Williamson on deck and Richardson in the hole for the Macon Bacon. Up 16-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning as that's fouled away. I mean, just a situation right now where if you're Moore, you just have to get outs any way you can. Any way, anyhow. He's a strike away from doing it. Looking for back-to-back Ks. He fires it in, and that one is outside. And once you get done with this game, if you're Florence, you just need to burn it and leave it here in Macon, Georgia, as that's outside for a ball. No, oftentimes we hear, burn the film, burn the tape, usually talking about football. But in a baseball sense, this would be the perfect game to do just that. Pitch coming from Moore. He delivers it. It is outside. And the count will run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dawson Mock. with a couple singles today. He's also reached on an error. Payoff pitch coming. Long pause for the righty Moore. He delivers it. Here's a 3-2. It's fouled straight back. Runners were going, which you can expect on a 3-2 pitch. $16 runs and 15 hits today for Macon. That combined with 4 errors for the Flamingos defensively have resulted in an ugly, ugly game here in Middle Georgia. As that is hit into right field, Driscoll is drifting back. He's under it and will make the grab for out number 3. And thank goodness he did. After a 7 spot put up by the Macon Bacon, it is 16-1 in favor of Macon. After 5 here from Middle Georgia. Stay with us. More Flamingos baseball coming up on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Top of the 6th inning here from Macon. A few defensive changes for the Macon Bacon as Zeke Minnick digs in for the 3rd time today. First pitch to him is low and away. Lawson Gailey, the new pitcher in for Macon, as that is fouled away by Minnick. Daniel Spiker will remain in the game. He is now at short. And Rudy Marichal, is now at second. He will remain in the game. Both of them came in the last half inning. As that is fouled away by Minnick, count goes to 1-2. It has been a rough game to be a Flamingo here on this Friday evening. Mingos are down 16-1 in the top of the 6th. Still have likely 2 innings to go here as the 1-2 runs inside. And credit to the Macon fans. I'm sure it looks like most of them have stuck around through this game, as that is outside for a ball. The count will run full to Minnick. Of course, if you're on the winning end of a game like this, you can understand why you'd want to stick around. I don't blame them. As the pitch comes in, that one lifted into right field. Williamson drifting back. He is at the track and will make the grab a few steps in front of the wall in the right field area at Luther Williams Field. 1 up, 1 down in the inning. So now Will Geary, the third baseman, will dig in for Florence. Geary looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 1. Walked his first time up, since then a fly out. As the pitch misses the zone. 1 ball and no strikes to Mr. Geary. Lawson Gailey, the new pitcher in for the Macon Bacon, is as chopped in front of the Macon dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike to the lefty. Matthew Jenkins through the last inning for Macon. Didn't give up any hits, no runs, just had 2 walks. Had a couple strikeouts as well, as the 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Geary. That one clubbed down the first baseline, out of reach of the first baseman Jordan, but it was in foul territory. Go down as a hard hit strike to the lefty. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him now. Lawson Gailey, coming from South Florida, where he played his college ball this past season. Made 8 appearances, all out of the bullpen for the Bulls, as the 2-2 is lifted opposite way. That will get into the party deck, just past third base and down the left field line. Gailey with a ERA of 6.00. He threw 9 innings. Gave up 9 hits and 6 runs. Struck out 6 batters this past year. A recent graduate of USF, as there's a wave and a miss from Will Geary. That'll bring us to 2 outs in the inning. Florence has not recorded a hit since the very first at-bat of the second inning. A single into center field off the bat of Carlos Diaz. Since that point, they've only had 2 base runners, 2 walks in the 5th inning as the first pitch comes in. It's called a strike to Jack McCarthy. Gailey missed the 2025 season due to injury. Made 13 appearances in 2024 and 16 in 2023. As that's fouled away. Went to Franklin County High School in Georgia, Livonia, Georgia. Was named the Georgia 3A Pitcher of the Year back in his high school days. And certainly firing it in here in his appearance with the Bacon, as that misses outside for a ball. Low and outside to the righty McCarthy. The pitch, that one hit in fair territory, backhanded by the third baseman. Morse's throw across the diamond skips its way to the first baseman Jordan in time for out number 3. Mingos go down in order, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. They are down by 15 on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board.
You are listening to Flamingo Radio.
Moore is in the ultimate mop-up duty situation here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mingo's down 16-1 to the rival Macon Bacon. 16 runs and 15 hits for the home team today. No errors for them defensively for Florence. 1 run off of 2 hits and 4 errors for the Mingos so far today. As we begin the 6th frame here from Middle Georgia. Is 2-3-4. Due up for Macon in this inning. Williamson, Richardson, and Jordan. That one clubbed by Williamson into center field. That will get down for a hit. Williamson has gotten on in each of his 5 plate appearances today. Has a couple walks, a 2 RBI double. Reached on fielder's choice and now a single here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now the 3-hole spot up for Macon in Nick Richardson, the left fielder from South Alabama. First pitch outside from Moore for a ball. Take a look around the CPL scoreboard one last time today. Ashboro has cracked it open against Forest City. They're up 19-9 in the bottom of the 7th inning, so that game is now over. Morehead City has come back as that gets a wave and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. Morehead City up 3-1 in the top of the 9th inning. The Marlins with 3 runs scored in the bottom of the 8th inning there. In Boone on the campus of Appalachian State University, as that's left outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Richardson. The Boone Bigfoots up 6-0 over the Lexington County Blowfish in the top of the 9th there. Tri-City up 7-4. They scored 4 runs in the 8th inning to take the lead against the Greenville Yard Gnomes as that pitch from Moore, frisbee's inside, too far inside for a ball. 3-1 count to Richardson. Top or bottom, I should say, of the 9th inning in Greenville. Chili Peppers up 7-4. The Peninsula Pilots now up 14-4 of the Zebulon Devil Dogs. That's popped up opposite way, and the ball will be caught by the third baseman Geary for out number 1. 12 runs scored by Peninsula the past 3 innings. Now in the bottom of the 7th. Potential run rule in effect there with the Pilots up by 10. And looks like a rain out between Holly Springs and Martinsville, at least still in a delay. I don't see a score listed on that one. Looks like that's going to be it for Landon Moore. Eli Brum will take him out of this game. Got through an inning, did not allow a run. 2 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout for Landon today. A new Flamingo arm will make its way to the pitcher's mound. We'll get you him after this quick break on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. New arm for the Mingos. It is the righty Thomas Rare. Coming up from George Mason, standing at 6'1", 210 pounds. He will be facing Stephen Jordan with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A runner on first for Macon. As the first pitch from Rare misses the zone, low and away. Rare officially making his first appearance as a Florence Flamingo, as that is hit, and that will get through. That one getting in between Geary and McGee on the left side of the infield. It's the 3rd hit today for Jordan, and it'll be runners on second and first for the Bacon. Trevor Jones, the DH, now digging in. Jones with 4 plate appearances today. Has gotten on twice. Looking to make it a trifecta. That one gets behind him. Enters the backstop. Runners will remain where they are. Do not see any action in the Flamingos bullpen. It'll be up to Rare to end this inning and toss us to the top of the 7th. Mingos need to get 5 runs across in the top half of that inning, or else this game is over, as there's a swing and a miss, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. One pitch coming. Rare set. And delivers. That one hit towards second. Caught on a line by Richardson. He will tap on a second for out number 3. So perfectly timed, much needed double play for Florence to end the inning. Heading into the top of the 7th, they need to get 5 runs across. We'll see if they can do it on the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network, presented by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Top of the 7th here from Macon, Georgia. Mingo's down 16-1. They're going to need to start a heck of a comeback. That's one way to put it. It'll be up to Carlos Diaz to get it started. 7, 8, 9 due up in the Florence Flamingo order. A new pitcher in for the Bacon. It is Caden Lopez coming from the College of Central Florida. Not to be mixed up with the University of Central Florida, aka UCF, the Knights. The College of Central Florida is where Mr. Lopez comes from, as he misses on pitch number 1 to Carlos Diaz, who is 1 for 2 today. College of Central Florida JUCO schools, that's high and into Diaz. 2-0 count to him. Made 17 appearances this past college season. Started 11, had a 5-1 record as he misses the zone again. 3 balls and no strikes to Diaz. Did have one complete game. He threw 63 innings, gave up 62 hits and 35 runs, 26 of which were earned as he fires in a strike. It's a 3-1 count to Diaz. Has a lot of swing and miss stuff. Had 75 strikeouts. 10.71 K per 9 as he finds the outer part of the zone there for strike 2. An ERA of 3.71. Pretty solid year for Mr. Lopez. He'll look to fire in a strike on the 3-2, and he will do just that. He catches Diaz looking. And it's 1 up, 1 down, the top of the 7th. Ryland Bosenhard in line for the win. It's a shortened game today, so even though he only threw 4 innings, he is in line for the win. Chris Alcorn in line for the loss today for Florence. As the first pitch is fired in, it's a call to strike to the first baseman, Wooten. Wooten today 0 for 1. Walked his last time up. Also has a ground out today. Lopez again from the windup. That one high and outside. A 1-1 count to Charlie Wooten. It's a very herky motion for the righty Lopez. Settles in on the first base side of the rubber and gets another swing and a miss. He's working quickly, though. Oh, there is a bit of a pause as Wooten exits the batter's box. At this point in the game, if you're a pitcher and you're not working quickly, at least in my opinion, you're doing it wrong. As the 1-2 comes in, and that slightly misses the zone. Count goes to 2-2. Parker McGee on deck for the Mingos. Jake Richardson, the birthday boy in the hole. They will exchange balls. Lopez at the mound will receive a new one from his catcher Babbitt. And now another new one. 3rd time's the charm. Again, a 1-2 count, or 2-2 count, I should say, to Charlie Wooten. 1 out, bases empty in the top of the 7th inning. Mingo's down 16-1. Here's the pitch. That one high and outside for ball number 3. Doesn't appear to be any more defensive substitutions for Macon. So Morse at third, Spicer at short, as that is fouled away. Or Spiker, I should say, at short. At second, Marie Scholl, Jordan at first. In the outfield, going left to right, Richardson, Mock, and Williamson. Same as been all game in the outfield. Here's the 3-2. That one hit towards second. Maricho will field it. And his throw to first is in time. 2 up, 2 down. Mingo's down to their last out of the game. It will be Parker McGee digging in for the third time today. McGee has struck out twice, one looking and one swinging. Looking to get on base for the first time today. Had a nice game yesterday, or last night, I should say, against Morehead City. Went 1 for 3, singled in the fourth inning of that game. That won a 1-0 victory for the Florence Flamingos as they took down the then undefeated Marlins. As Lopez misses the first pitch, a little outside for ball number 1. That one a swing and a miss. The count evens up. Lopez coming in relief for Lawson Gailey, who threw the last inning. Retired the Mingos in order. Did have a strikeout in the second batter that he faced. 1-1 fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Parker McGee. Florence down to their last strike of the game. Macon playing their infield back. Looking for another clean frame. Here's the 1-2 from Lopez. He winds and delivers, and he hits the back of McGee. That one ran a little too far inside for the righty Lopez. So there'll be a base runner on for Florence, with the leadoff man, Jake Richardson, digging in for the 4th time today. Once again, he is digging into the left-handed batter's box. It's the 2nd time he has done so today, and the 2nd time he has done so this season. Talked about it earlier in his last AB. It was a 4-pitch walk, so we haven't seen a swing from him from the left-handed side. He's capable of it, but when talking to head coach Eli Brum about it, it's just more of a comfort thing for him as he tries to figure it out. A half swing. He did not go around on the appeal. Richardson coming from Eastern Florida State College. That is where the Flamingos head coach Eli Brum is also coming from. He is their hitting coach. So well familiar with Mr. Richardson, as there's a swing and a miss for strike number 1. That one an outside pitch from Lopez. Richardson a little behind on it. Should he get on, the batting baton will be passed on to Sam Driscoll, the right fielder today for the Mingos. Here's the 1-1. That one is swung on and missed. Richardson with a solo home run last night against Morehead City in the very first at-bat of the bottom of the 3rd. The one lone run in that game was a 1-0 victory for the Flamingos. Down to our last strike tonight. Here's the 1-2. That one swung on and missed. And that is how today's game will end. Flamingos get crushed on the road at Macon. They will lose this one 16-1. They will fall to 1-4 on the season. Winning pitcher today for Macon, it is their starter, Ryland Bosenhard. And the losing pitcher today for Florence, it will be their starter, Chris Alcorn. Today's game was 2 hours and 47 minutes in front of 3,222 attendees. Very nice weather today in Macon, Georgia, as the Bacon will advance to 3-4 on the season. 2-1 at home here at historic Luther Williams Field. Florence will go to 1-4. They will fall to 0-2 on the road. Both of those losses being run rule losses. They'll look to get back on track tomorrow night at home. They take on the High Point Thomasville High Toms. First pitch will be at 7 o'clock there. We will go live on Home Team Network around 6:45 and live on Star 97.1, the home of today's best music, at 6:55. Next away game here on the Florence Flamingos YouTube channel will be Sunday evening at the Martinsville Mustangs, traveling up north for that one. First pitch will be at 7 o'clock. We will go live shortly before then. As for now, this is Bryan Miller of the Florence Flamingos Broadcast Network signing off. This has been a presentation of Florence Flamingos Baseball brought to you by the South Carolina Peanut Board. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As for now, we will see you later on.